I was the person who could not utter even a single sentence in English in front of people. Hesitation, judgment, nervousness were my best friends actually. But now, as you can see, I am damn confident speaker. I have achieved advanced level. What did I do? And what I do on daily basis, what activities I am doing every day consistently, which are actually making me damn confident speaker. Yes, this is what I'm going to share with you in this video. So hello and welcome linguistics. I know you have been practicing a lot and you're not able to achieve the level of your dreams. I used to see the exact same dream and now I'm so happy that I've achieved this level. So listen, it's not even possible to be damn consistent in life. It's not that I am very consistent every day. Look, it's life and we are human beings. Anytime, anything could happen. Doesn't matter how consistent you are, but yeah, it happens. Life throws some hardship and your consistency breaks. But how I fix it? In this video, you will get to know how I am practicing on daily basis despite having some challenges which life throws on the way, right? So let's get started. So what I do is I simply follow the 4 pillars. But in my case, these are not 4 pillars, these are 6 pillars actually. So instead of following 4 pillars, I follow 6 pillars. So what are these pillars? So pillars are LSRWT. So listening, speaking, reading, writing, thinking and studying. So let me tell you, how do I juggle with these activities? Do I juggle with all the activities? And if I do juggle with all the activities, how much time I give? Let's start with the first thing, which is listening. Okay, so now I want to tell you whether I do listening in English or not every day. Listen, listening is my second nature. It is my second nature and I never ever forget it. Yeah, I know there can be some days when I'm so busy or I'm not able to do these activities. Yes, I leave it, but I never ever make this excuse that in 24/7 I didn't get time to practice. I never do like this. Doesn't matter how busy I am, whatever time I get in between, I do listen. And I try to listen great speakers who are speaking with accuracy, who are speaking in a very eloquent, precise and concise manner, like Palki Sharma, Shashi Tharoor, and there are a lot of great speakers. So when it comes to types of listening, yeah, I do active and passive listening in the morning time, if not for 1 hour, as earlier I used to do 1 hour active listening. But nowadays I'm literally damn busy in my life. So instead of doing 1 hour active listening, now I do just 20 minutes active listening. And rest of the listenings I do passive one. Like if I'm just doing some household chores, other things, whenever I get free time, I do my passive listenings, right? So if you ask for how many hours I do it, active listening 20 minutes, and when it comes to passive listening, there is no count, okay? Because whenever I find free time, I just utilize it. Sometimes it goes 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and sometimes not even 0 minutes. Second, what I do next is I read. Honestly speaking, I'm not very consistent with my reading. But yeah, if you had met me 2 months back or 3 to 4 months back, yes, you would have found damn consistent reader. I was actually, but now I am not. The reason is, as you know, in this life, you will be encountering different phases. A couple of times you have to sacrifice some activities which you actually like to do. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your sleep for reading, and sometimes you have to sacrifice your reading for sleep. Alright, so the book which I'm reading nowadays is Dopamine Detox actually. Okay, Dopamine Detox. And before this, I was reading The Art of Letting Go. And you won't believe it took me 1 month to read, to complete that Art of Letting Go. Even it's a very thin book. Maybe 4 times in a week I read, and on Sunday whenever I get time I read, okay? But again, I'm telling you, earlier I was reading 2 to 3 months back. Why does it happen? I have already told you where you are, at what phase of life, okay? Are you at intermediate level, advanced level? What do you need this time? You have to check your priorities and your requirements. This time I have some other priorities, and I'm not saying I am completely detached with reading. No. Every day I do allocate some minutes or maybe an hour for reading. Let's jump for the next activity. My next activity is speaking. Obviously now I'll tell you where I do speaking, okay? Here I want to share one of my experience as well. When it comes to speaking, I already get enough time to speak. How? Because I take a lot of sessions where I do guide people how they're supposed to speak, right? So already if I'm taking 10 sessions, maybe these are 30-minute sessions, 45-minute sessions, 1-hour sessions, so obviously I'm getting enough time to speak in English. It's not my practice, but all I'm doing is just I'm putting my mouth muscles where I can pronounce certain words and I can make my mouth muscles habitual for speaking, right? So already I am getting enough time to practice. But one thing still is missing, and what's that? My separate practice. Separate practice is what? Where you actually have natural conversation with people. So that natural conversation I'm not able to get. Why? Because in sessions we have kind of very structural way of just teaching, right? We have to see as per the a requirement of learner, what that person need, and accordingly we have to provide, right? But you improve a lot when you talk naturally, and that is something which is missing. But it's okay, again I'll try something where I can actually talk naturally. I can talk with, you know, my heart, whatever I want to talk, because in sessions we can't do that, right? Yes, I do a lot of English practice, but not as I want, right? So this is what I will start soon. Let's move for the next activity now. Next activity is LSRW, writing. Do I do writing? Yes, I do journal a lot. I pen down all my thoughts, and I just love this part, by the way. If you want to know, is it really helping you in your communication? Yeah, it is. As we say, reading helps you in aligning your thoughts. You learn how to align your thoughts if you read, and writing helps you in organizing your thoughts. If you write a lot, if you do journal, you learn how to organize your thoughts well. If you ask what I write, I will ask from you what I don't write. I write everything, okay? When it comes to my next day's plan, my next week's plan, if it comes to what I'm gonna eat, what should I eat, what should I teach, what should I study, I write down everything. From my thoughts to questions to vocabs to idioms to everything. So I write down a lot and have a lot of journals. So when it comes to writing, no, I never ever skip my writing. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, thinking. Now I'll tell you something about thinking. This is one of my favorite habit, by the way. My favorite activity which I do every day. The moment I wake up early in the morning, and if some thoughts are going in my mind, all I do is I just try to think that in English, and this is what I do all day long. I still remember earlier I used to watch a lot of videos how to think in English, how to read in English, but now I'm so happy because I have developed these habits. At first when I started, it was literally very hard for me to develop this habit. I could not do that. It was really hard nut to crack for me, as it's a piece of cake for me, and now I enjoy it a lot. Move for the next activity, which is studying, right? S stands for studying, because that's good, you know, preparation is good. As we say, when you were in your school, in your colleges, for your job, you used to do preparation. Then why not for this amazing language, right? So honestly speaking, when I started learning this language, when I was at very beginner level, or I was at lower intermediate level, no, I was not studying anything at all. No vocabs, no grammar, no nothing, right? But once and yeah, again, the next thing is, when I reached at intermediate level or upper intermediate level, again, I started experiencing somewhere, I guess I need to learn these things, right? I need to study these things. But still, those things were not making sense to me, because all I was doing, I was just in the flow. I was just practicing a lot. My main focus was on speaking practice. Once I became an advanced speaker, and once I got into teachings, this time I think this is my need and I must do it. I started studying. Now this time I study everything: vocabulary, pronunciation, idiom, grammar, this, that, sentence formation. I love these things now. So yeah, I do study. Now you might be thinking, do you have this much time to do this all? Look, there will be some days when you will not be able to do these activities. Okay, start. Maybe someday you will read, someday you will write, someday you will speak, and someday you will listen, right? There are a couple of activities which don't need extra effort. You do not need to exert all your energy for them. Do these activities every day, like listenings in English. It does not need that much extra effort. So listen as much as you can. I can understand speaking takes extra effort and time. You need courage to speak, fine, but listening does not take anything. So listen, but try to find time for speaking as well. That's how I do. And earlier I was very specific, I was very concise. In the morning 5 o'clock I'll do this activity, day 3 o'clock I'll do this activity, in the evening 5 o'clock I'll do this activity. But as you know, life throws hardships, some challenges, okay? Life is not that easy, right? So we have to be prepared, we have to be flexible. That's what I have learned. I actually felt so bad when I have to change these habits. I loved earlier reading in the morning time, but now I have to do it anytime throughout the day. So we have to be flexible, we have to be adaptive. Ever since I have become adaptive and flexible, yes, somewhere I'm able to do all these activities, and that's what I'm expecting from you. So these are the activities I do, and that's how I follow my routine. I do my English practice. And if you really want to know my journey, so I have already made video on it, but still there were a lot of things which were left. I will come up with one more video where I would love to share my journey, how I became from zero speaker to a very confident speaker. So with this thing, let's meet in the next video. Bye bye, take care.